Hi guys, welcome to DriveSpark. I'm Promeet and today we are driving the BMW X4. Now this is the M Sport variant, so stay tuned as we tell you everything you need to know about this SUV. So now let's start talking about the front end, and the very first thing you'll notice is the signature adaptive LED BMW headlight cluster. That's the unit. You get the DRLs over here, the indicator on top, and the high beam and low beam both are LED. Also, if you see over here, you get the fog lamp unit that is also LED and that is pretty bright. Now since this is the M Sport variant, you get the bumper that is very aggressive looking. You get some vents over here and you have a decent amount of chrome on the grille. Now this grille, the specialty about this grille is this is an active grille. So what happens is that when there is more air required, so the vents inside it open up and there is more access to air, and when it does not sense that it requires more air, it shuts and provides better aerodynamics. Also, to make the car look much more muscular from the front, the company has given these prominent hood and line creases. So yes, the X4 definitely looks muscular and bold from the front end. Okay, so now let's talk about the side profile, and over here you'll notice that this has an M badge. This is an M variant, so you get an M badge over here that's pretty small, should be slightly bigger. You get some vents over here. These are fake vents, but they look absolutely fantastic and cool. You get some body lines and creases that run from here, from the fender all the way to the tail light over here. You get some brushed aluminium finished all around the window trim, body colored ORVM with integrated indicator, and yes, you have these beautiful 19-inch single tone alloy wheels that are from the M division. You have the M wheels, the M calipers over there, front and back, and they are wrapped in some Bridgestone tires. The tire profile is 245/50 R19 and they provide very decent amount of grip. The tires could have been slightly better, but yeah, it stops the car and does its job really well. So you have these roof rails that are functional and you can mount your luggage carrier if you're going out anywhere. So yeah, overall, yeah guys, the X4 definitely looks commanding and it looks big from the side. So now let's talk about the rear profile, and over here you get this sleek looking tail lamp unit. Now they split into two, half of it is inside the body, half of it is inside the boot. You get the X4 badging, X drive means an all-wheel drive, and the 30D badging over there. You can see that it has an element over here that looks like a spoiler, but this looks really nice. You also get a shark fin antenna over there, reverse parking camera, parking sensors, adaptive guidelines, whatnot. You can park this car really safely at very tight spaces. Also, to make the car look much more sportier, they have given this dual exhaust tip. Both are functional, none of them are fake. Now since we are the rear, let's talk about the boot. So to open the boot, just have to flip the logo. So yeah, you have 525 liters of boot space, and if you need more space, you have a 60-40 split according to your need. You can just fold any side down and you'll have more room for luggage. To close it, just press a button and yeah, here you go. So that's the rear end of the X4. So now we're at the front seat, and first things first, let's talk about the cabin. So the cabin is really spacious. You have a huge panoramic sunroof. Actually, that's what we mentioned. It's a huge panoramic sunroof that runs all the way from the front to the back. So it actually makes the cabin look much more spacious and airy. Over here, you get a 10.2-inch infotainment system that features Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Right below that, you have the climate control. This has 3-zone climate control. One is the back, 2 are at the front. Right below that, you have a tray. Where you open the tray, you have the wireless charging and your cup holders. This is the iDrive controller over here, the gear selector, all the modes and all of that. You have a fully digital instrument cluster over here that also changes its color according to the mode. So if you are in eco, it'll turn blue. If you're in comfort, it'll turn amber, and if you're in sports, it'll turn to red. So yeah, you've got pedal shifters, steering mounted controls are mounted absolutely fantastically. You don't have to worry looking at the instrument cluster or the infotainment system while driving. Speaking of that, you also get a heads-up display that is really helpful, and you can configure that. You can change the height, you can change the display settings on that. So that is really nice. You also get some brushed aluminum finish on the inside. Soft touch is everywhere. You get the X badging over here on the door that looks really nice and adds up to the charm of the car. And around the AC vents, you also get this brushed aluminum finish. So overall, yeah, it's really nice. Speaking about the steering wheel as well, I just love the BMW, how they designed the steering wheel. It's pretty chunky. It's got a very good grip to it. This has an M badging over here, M steering wheel, but I mean, once again, I said it should have been slightly like a flat bottom steering wheel. Overall, in the car is really comfortable. You get these seats that can be adjusted. You can see that this is for the height, and over here you have a button, so this is for the lateral support. So this literally hugs you when you're cornering, so you don't fall out of your seat or you don't move from your seat. So yeah, I mean, the cabin is really spacious at the front. It's a very driver friendly car. Now let's go back and tell you more about the rear. So now we have the rear seat, and this seat, the front seat is adjusted according to my height, and there is a decent amount of knee room. There is decent amount of headroom also, and you have a lot of things over here. You have the third zone climate control. They can control. You have two Type C charging. I don't know why they can't give a regular USB socket. Not everyone carries a Type C. I think you have to buy an attachment for that. But anyway, there are two charging sockets over there. AC vents, and yeah, you again have soft touch material. The X badging on the door. And you also have an armrest that has two cup holders. If you're 4 people traveling, then you can just deploy it. And as I was telling, the sunroof, it actually opens up till here where my head is. So yeah, you get a clear view of what's going on the outside. So yeah, the rear is very comfortable, and actually 4 people can go really easily, because the transparent tunnel that runs through the center of the car, I mean, the third person will have to split his leg and sit. So yeah, best is 4 people. 5 people can easily accommodate, but comfortably 4 people can go. So now we have the driving seat of the X4, and let me give you a quick engine brief of the vehicle. Now this is powered by a 3-liter 6-cylinder. It's a straight 6 diesel engine. It's a turbocharged diesel engine that pumps out 265 bhp of power and 620 Nm of torque. Now the torque is absolutely amazing. The power delivery of the vehicle is just phenomenal, and luckily it's a 4-wheel drive. Otherwise there is so much of torque that traction control would have lost its mind only, I think, if you would have floored it on the sport mode. But anyway, so since it's a 4-wheel drive, you have excellent amount of grip. It's quick off the line. If you're going at a certain speed and you just floor it, it'll just take off. I mean, this car is phenomenal. On eco mode, you have a very linear acceleration, the steering wheel feels light, the suspension also feels light, and you have an adaptive mode. So you have 4 modes. You have sport, comfort, eco, pro, and adaptive. So adaptive is when you put it detects the terrain that it's going on, and it will set accordingly. So overall, I mean, it's a pretty good car when it comes to driving. And as far as the mileage is concerned, I am literally amazed that in the city we were getting around 9 to 11, and that is the case. Then on the highway you'll easily get between 13-14. I mean, we could not take it for highway run. Also the steering stiffens up when you are on sport. Suspension also stiffens up slightly, because they are not air suspension, but they are active suspension, and yeah, so that helps the car handle much more better. And steering response is really awesome. The 4-wheel drive is just phenomenal. It can take you to almost all places. I mean, it can't do a very hardcore off-roading, but yeah, most of it will definitely do. It will not get stuck anywhere. So the driving experience in the past 2 or 3 days is just awesome. Now let's talk about the gearbox. So this is an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and it is pretty quick. So you have the manual mode also. You have the pedal shifters also, where you can shift. You don't have to move your hand. You can just concentrate on the road. You also have a heads-up display, as I told you earlier, that gives you a lot of information. That gives you a red line also, so you can know when you have to shift. Overall, guys, it's a pretty awesome car. It's a pretty silent car. I mean, being a diesel car, it's pretty silent. The NVH levels are awesome. The insulation level is fantastic. I mean, there is no noise that's coming from outside. Yeah, this car moves. If you floor it, it might look like a very big car, but when you floor it, this thing just takes off. And being a diesel engine, due to the 620 Nm of torque, it is just fantastic to drive around. And when you want to cruise also, if you're cruising at triple-digit speeds, you will actually not know you're doing that. So silent inside the cabin. It is just absolutely amazing. Like, the company has done a fantastic job as far as the insulation levels are concerned. I mean, the engine noise is also barely noticeable. So overall, it's a big thumbs up, and we definitely like the X4. The way it drives, I mean, the way it pulls when you want to, the way it cruises peacefully, And yeah, the suspension setup, as I told you, I mean, it adjusts according to the modes. So yeah, I mean, it absorbs all the potholes and bumps that are there on the road. So overall, it's a good car, good to drive, good to sit. It's a big thumbs up from my end. So that was the BMW X4, and I hope I explained the car well to you. If you need to know anything else, please mention it down in the comment section and we will get back to you on that. Until then, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Promit signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and be safe.